वेलकम टू बिटूनेट कोड चैनल। गाइस, आज के सेशन में हम देखेंगे हाउ वी कैन इनेबल EIGRP authentication in EIGRP protocol, right? So the IP address configuration that we are using in our network is 12.1.1 network with the 24-bit subnet mask for between R1 and R2, 13 network between R1 and R3, and 23 network between R2 and R3, right? तो EIGRP का process ID रहेगा 100. So let's start these routers and take a console session on all of them. IP addresses I have already configured. So let me show you IP addresses also. First of all, here we can see that F0 interface for R1 has IP address as 12.1.1, right? And F01 has IP address as 13.1.1, and R2 has IP addresses at 12.1.1.2 for F0, and for F01 interface IP address is 23.1.1.2. Similarly, for R3 we have IP addresses for F00 12.1. Yeah, this one is R3. So for F00 23.1.1.3, and for F01 interface it is 13.1.1.3. Now let's check IP route. First of all, IP protocols. There is no routing protocol running on any of them. Okay, show IP protocol, and let me show you IP route also. There is no routing done. It only has, every router has information about locally connected routes only. For example, 10 knows about 12 network and 13 network. R2 knows about, let me show you. R2 knows about 23 and 12 because it is connected to 23 network and 12 network. And check R3 also. R3 is connected to 23 and 13 network. R3 23 this side and 13 network this side. So now let's enable EIGRP dynamic routing protocol on all of them. So we'll go to configure terminal, we'll use a router command, and routing protocols that we can select from here will be EIGRP, then the process ID or autonomous system number, right? So let's give it autonomous system number 100. Okay, after that we will inform EIGRP what networks this router is connected to. So we will inform that this router is connected to 12.1.1.0, and then we have to give the EIGRP wildcard bits. That will be because this is a 24-bit subnet mask, so wildcard will be the inverse of subnet mask. That will be 0.0.0.255, right? Enter. Similarly, towards other hand side we have 13 network. Okay, and let's do right, show IP protocol. Now we can see that EIGRP protocol is running with the process ID or AS number 100, and the metrics that EIGRP uses by default are K1 for bandwidth and K3 for delay, right? The five metrics that are in use, they are K1 bandwidth, K2 load, K3 delay, K4 reliability, and K5 is for MTU. Then the by default maximum hop count EIGRP supports is 100. If any packet reaches 101 hop, okay, that packet will be discarded by the router if it is running EIGRP. But we can always configure it, we can increase or decrease it depending upon requirement. And the variance, we will discuss this later on. uh, Here automatic network summarization is in effect. Okay, so let's disable network summarization also. Router EIGRP 100 no auto summary. We will give this command to disable auto summary. Now let's see IP protocols command once again. Now it says automatic network summarization is not in effect. Because if this is in effect, then EIGRP will work as a classful routing protocol, whereas we use protocols as classless. Right, classless protocols are more efficient than a classful, like a RIP supports only classful, whereas other protocols like RIP NG, EIGRP, OSPF, BGP, they are classless protocols, so that's why they are more efficient. So we will configure, let me show you, there is no neighbor, right, currently, because EIGRP is running on only one router. So let's configure on router 2 also. Router EIGRP 100 network 12.1.1.0. Then we have subnet mask 0.0.0.255. Enter. And towards this other hand side, we got the message that it's set up new adjacency. Right, towards the other hand side of R2 we have R3 network. Right, this is the R3 network. So let's include this also in EIGRP protocol, and let's give it no auto summary also. And right, show IP protocols. Okay, using same metrics K1 and K3 by default, and the rest all metrics are also default. EIGRP 100 process, maximum hop count 1, and we'll see how we can manipulate these metrics also. Right, and now it is routing for network 12 and 23. Let's save this configuration and go to, before that let's see the neighbor command. Now it has discovered its neighbor as 12.1.1. 12.1.1 is the neighbor, right, and the whole time that are there are right now it is 14. It will keep on decreasing. And how we can check hold time and hello interval, we will see that also in a while. Before that, let me enable EIGRP on R3 router EIGRP 100. Okay, network 23.1.1.0 0.0.255, and similarly towards this hand side we have 13.1.1.0 0.0.255. Okay, we got the message that it set up adjacency towards both sides with other R2, and here towards this hand side with R1. No auto summary. Right, show IP protocol, all the default parameters, and show IP EIGRP neighbor. Okay, now it has got two neighbors, 13.1.1 and 23.1.2. Now let's see the IP route command. Show IP route. Okay, now these are the directly connected routes. Okay, and R3 did not know about 12 network. This R3 did not know about this network. Okay, now it knows about this network with the help of dynamic protocol EIGRP. Here D stands for dual. Okay, this is an algorithm, diffusing update algorithm is used by EIGRP. Show IP route. Let's check on R2 also. Now R2 knows about 1.3 network. It was not aware about 1.3 network, this one. Now R2 knows about this through EIGRP. And let's go to R1. Show IP route and R1 knows about 23 network, this network to which it was not directly connected. Okay, now let's see how we can manipulate the hello timers or hold timers. I showed you in the previous video also, but let's do that once again. Configure terminal. Let's do a show IP EIGRP interfaces. We are on R1 fast Ethernet 0/0 detail. This is the information about the peer that is connected to F00 interface. One peer from this interface, smooth round trip timer to transfer any packet, and then they get the message back, reliable and unreliable time, and flow timer. So let me show you hello timer also. So the command to check the show IP EIGRP 100 interfaces fast 0/0. If we want to check the hello interval, so here we will do interface uh, detail. Okay, so here it says hello interval. Hello interval, it is using by default 5 seconds, and hold interval will be 3 times or 3 times of hello interval. So that will be EIGRP neighbors. So hello interval is 5 seconds and hold interval is 15 seconds. Okay, so we can manipulate both these. EIGRP 100 IP. Let's see what commands we have available in router EIGRP. From here we can configure default metric distance, administrative distance. Okay, EIGRP specific commands, maximum path that it should use in case there are multiple paths available towards one route. Okay, we can decide from here how many maximum path it should use. By default it is 4. Okay, and we can configure any interface as passive interface also, so that it should not send any query update over that interface, or updates about the routes. Okay, so right now we are interested in changing the hello interval and hold timers. So we will go to EIGRP. So guys, here one thing to note down is that if we want to change the hello interval or hold time interval, that will be towards one specific interface, okay, towards one direction. So if we want to change the hello interval or hold time interval of F0 network, we will go into the interface sub command of R1 F00. So let's go to F0/0 interface, and from here we can configure EIGRP 100 interface. No, I'm sorry, it will be IP. Here we have command as hello interval. Here we can see we have command available as hello interval, IP hello interval, and then we have IP hold time interval. Okay, hold time configures IP EIGRP hold time, and hello interval configures IP EIGRP hello interval. So we can configure both hello interval EIGRP 100 and we can make it to any other value like 12655. Okay, but currently we are not doing this. This session is for enabling authentication, so let's enable authentication. Now we want that whatever packets R1 is sending to R2, okay, they should be sent with the authentication enabled, right? If the packets are not authentic, R2 will not accept those packets. So how do we enable authentication on R1? Let's do that. So to enable authentication, we will be using MD5 authentication, and for that we will have to use a keychain. Okay, let's give keychain any name like Cisco. Okay, now we are into keychain command. So here we will configure a key with key subcommand. Key, let's give it key number 1. Okay, and then we will give key string. We will give this is kind of password for key 1. So let's give the password as Cisco 123. Okay, exit. Now we will go to EIGRP 100. We have to configure authentication at this interface towards R2, right? So we will go to F0/0 IP authentication. Okay, keychain. No, before giving keychain, we will have to tell that what kind of authentication we want to use for EIGRP. So autonomous number is 100, and we want to use a message digest authentication, right? We want to use this authentication, and we got the message that authentication mode changed. Now we also have to tell that in MD5 authentication what key string or key name we want to use. That means a username and password kind of thing. So IP authentication keychain EIGRP 100. Now name of keychain. Our keychain name was Cisco, right? Let's double check once again. Here is the I think we gave the name as CISO. That was the typo mistake. So this would have resulted in a failure. So we will use the same name CISO. CISO. Enter. Now let's see, we have given authentication, and let's see if EIGRP has broken the neighborship with R2 because of failure in authentication. We can see that now R1 has only one neighbor towards this side, 13, that is R3. At this interface we have enabled authentication, so now it has broken the neighborship with R2 because we have not enabled authentication at other router. So we will go to R2, and we will run same commands on R2 also. First of all, let's create chain CISO, right? And inside this chain we have to create key with the same username password, key string Cisco 123, right? And now we have to go to interface F0/0 and inform here that we will be using a IP authentication keychain CISO. I'm sorry, IP EIGRP 100. Name of keychain was CISO. Okay, IP authentication Mode also we need to enable EIGRP 100. Mode will be MD5. Okay, username password we have already informed that it has to use keychain CISO. Okay, now we can see that it has set up adjacency with R1 and show IP EIGRP neighbors. Okay, now again neighborship has come up. Show IP, here also we got the message. So guys, this way we can enable authentication in EIGRP. Please let me know if you like this video, and provide your comments if you have any question. Okay, thank you for watching this video.